Last year, we showed you the community's joy, the silliness, and all the noises they could offer. This year, we wanted to go deeper. We wanted to show the story of outer space. And to do so, we had to find the one holding the keys of the lore. The one who was there before everything even started. And after a long research, a few mental breakdowns, and a good sense of smell, we found him.
Alright, are you ready to have me ask you some extremely difficult questions?
Oh.
Uh-oh. So I have to ask the first question. As one of the most ancient people to enter the community, were you expecting it to become as popular as it is today?
No, definitely not. Like back in the days, I didn't thought at all that this becomes that big. I mean, I was always hoping that it gets a decent amount of people enjoying the model, but I never thought it become that huge. Oh, it's nice to see that more and more people enjoying it, and yeah, it's crazy.
Now, what was your first impression when everything started? Like the whole community, when it first took off, what was your first impression?
I was like, yeah, it's a nice thing, just a nice little order that some people enjoy, a nice little community, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be all fun, and yeah, it quickly turned into a lot of work out of a sudden and helping people to get the model done. But yeah, it changed quickly. I'd say it like this.
And over the last 2 years, everything's grown quite a substantial amount. Would you say that what was your favorite period in the entire 2 years that it's been here, the community?
Oh, well, of course, the very beginning, because everything was new, everything was exciting, new people joining in. I mean, still new people joining in, but back in the days, you could like memorize who is who and every author. But well, nowadays I think nobody can do that. Does anybody can do that?
I've tried.
Call all the artists by name? I guess not. But yeah, it's a lot of artists, and I enjoyed this small community, small group of artists just hang around like all the time, not only at meetups but like all the time. And now it's became so huge. There are so many. I mean, that's still nice to see, but I enjoy the cozy little groups.
I need to prepare this. Alley up. Table switch. Hold on.
Okay, Sinkies, follow me. It's this way.
Yeah.
Alright,
No.
should be here.
Yeah.
Okay, so just like a possum, you've been in the outer space since its creation. What's your feeling about the community being this big now?
It's so big now. There's so many new people that come in every week, and the community is like the best thing that's happened to me in a while, and I will continue to throw my heart into it to keep it growing, thriving.
Well, since a while now, you actually started hosting the Saturday meetup. Can you tell us like when it happened and explain how you feel every Saturday whenever you're hosting it?
I do not really remember the exact time. I think it was maybe a year ago. I took over because from Opossum, for like I don't know.
And what's your
I don't
feeling like
remember.
what's your feeling every time you were hosting it?
Happy and appreciated because there's lots of new beans, and there's also like a lot of people that show up every week, take the time to do it.
From everyone else in the other space, you're probably the most active member, participating in almost every single event happening. Do you realize your importance within the other?
I don't know. I just be there and do things and be funny. And E.
Hey there, thank you for the Awtter meets and bringing together a great community for everybody to enjoy and stay awesome.
Oh, hello everyone. So I hear it's a bit late to say thank you for everything, and that is my part to say thank you for all the meetups. Thank you for the Awtter. Thank you for the community. You guys are awesome. The community is awesome. Thank you and cheers.
Thank you so much for the Awtter meet. It's amazing. I love it. Hurrah! It's amazing being able to come together and be with all the Awtters.
I want to say thank you to the whole Awtter community and staff to make this happen. Thank you.
I just wanted to say thank you for hosting the Awtter meet each Saturday. So thank you Pan Pan, thank you Kale Chips, and most of all thank you Shade for creating the Awtter.
Hello, I want to say thank you for every Awtter meet on almost every weekend, and I want to say also thank you to Shades of Bad, because without him this all wouldn't be possible.
Yeah, I guess, just wanted to say thank you, Kale, for running the Awtter meetups every week for like a year and a half or 2 years or however long it's been. Running the movie nights for like a year and a half every Friday, every week for like a year and a half. Coming to like everyone's event in the community and supporting other people who want to run events in the community. And always being someone at the events as well to help out, like recently at MFF, helping us get the stream of the Otters at MFF in the meetup. You're always a guy people can rely on to actually make fun events in the community and engage with the community. So I hope you continue to run the events every week like a madman, like you have so far, for years to come.
Hey Kale, hope you're doing good. This video was technically for you, but people decided to thank the whole community, which isn't that bad either, but you deserve all the thanks for being there every Saturday, all the efforts that you're putting into supporting the Awtter Space community. But among that, I wanted to say thank you as a friend, because you've been really, really helpful to me, and you've been quite the friend. And even if we don't hang out often, I feel like I really appreciate you, because you've been there since my first stream and you never missed any single one of them, even during Thanksgiving. So yeah, it might be a tiny action, but it's tiny action like this that makes my day and night more beautiful. So thank you.
Hello Gale, I wanted to thank you for everything you're doing for the Awtter Space. You host the movies every Friday and the Awtter meetups every Saturday for months and months, and it's very important for the community, and people should know that it's you.
Well, thank you very much. I think we can now both stand up. It's a nice carpet, isn't it?
Yes.
3, 2,
infinity.
1. Oh!
Oh my god!
What?
Holy shit!
So Alex, when and how did you first get involved within the community?
So it was back in September 2020, and I actually first started playing VR chat. I just got the game, I just got VR, and the Awtter was my very first model that I got in VR chat. And I actually won the model through Shade's Twitter raffle when he published the model first time. And I was a new user in VR chat. I had like 1 or 2 hours yet. So I wasn't even able to upload the model myself. So on the very first Awtter meetup, I was there as a long boy. And still, like, even though not being like in the Awtter model, I still felt like welcomed by the people there right from the very beginning. It was nice.
And your basically first mission, you've been working on several little projects, such as the website, and recently included the map to it, offering to people the capacity of being able to see where their friends were located and potentially creating new connections. What's your feeling when thinking about it?
Yeah, the Awtter map was something big for me, actually. I remember this feature like from the old days, like 2014, when I joined the furry community. And in the German furry community, and they had a big forum, and they also had a map there. Everyone entered their location, and it showed all the people with similar interests in my area. And yeah, I actually got a couple of good friends, like got to know a couple of good friends through this, because they were like, oh, they are like right in the next city, let's meet up, let's do something there. And that's also how I ended up studying in Leipzig, because there were some nice people there that I got to know through this map. Yeah, I think it's a fun feature, and I really like it. It's the first like community thing on the website.
So people might not know, but you've been involved quite a lot in the community, going from the website that created a very easy way for people to reach the downloads of their purchase, either DLC or modders, to a full operational system that managed events, Discord bots, privacy, security, etc. How were your impressions during this transition? How do you feel when you think about all this work, the time given?
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that you recognize this work, because it's very much in the background. And yeah, it's true. Like we built this website, like Karov and I built this website from the ground up, because when the Zombie Awtter came out back in October 2020, it was impossible to provide a way to give like a customized model to people who already bought the product without charging again the full price, because there's no way to separate them. So we thought about different ways on how to do it, and the first idea was to have like the password encryption file and everything. It was not very practical.
And basically, you say you're here since September 2020, which is very close to the actual release of the Awtter, so which means the beginning.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about your feeling concerning the community, how it grew from the first time to today?
It was actually like since the beginning. I got to know about the Awtter since the release, and I joined the Awtter Discord on the day of the release. And yeah, about the community, I made a lot of friends within the community, to be honest. Like lots of my closest friends actually are originating from the Awtter community, as far as I remember, yeah. But even now, the Awtter community is still part of my heart, because it's like the origin of a lot of very good emotions, very good experiences.
Well, thank you very much. The interview is pretty much done. Thank you.
J'ai passé d'FPS pour ça, putain!
Where the heck is Whispers? I was supposed to meet him today.
Finally some alone time. Oh, baby, you're so shiny. I love you so much. God, you're so beautiful. I said you got... Oh. Hi, Pan. Hi, Pan.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
No, I'm good.
Can we go? Alright. Many of us know you because of your concerts you did during the weekly meetups. What made you decide to start performing in VR chat?
That is a good question. I remember I was really drunk one Saturday night. That was during the first lockdown. And I always played VR chat in my cellar at home. And I have all of my music gear there. And I think it was like 2 a.m. or so. And I spontaneously decided to get my guitar and just play, it was probably Wonderwall. I don't even want to know what my first song was. And yeah, it was very scuffy. It was awful. I think I even out and became a pretzel or whatever, a croissant. But it was fun, and that is how it started. And I started playing every weekend at every Awtter meetup, and now I'm here.
The more concerts, the more popularity you were getting, to the point you even started being present as events such as Virality or other kind of events. How do you feel when you saw so many people following you?
Very exciting, because I think it's going to get even bigger in the future. Not necessarily me, but the whole virtual musiciandom. And it's beautiful. It's cool to have people listening from all over the world. I'm not bound to location or a distance that I need to cover to drive for a concert, you know. I can just play from home and play for people from all over the world. And especially events like Virality just leverage the whole experience and give me many more opportunities.
And what impact did the Awtter community have on your music career?
That is a great question. I started making music really as a guy in an Irish pub, so I played lots of real life gigs, played all the classics, played the Wonderwall. It got kind of boring after a couple of years because people weren't really interested, they weren't really listening, especially when I started playing my own songs. And finding the Awtter community, finding these friends that I've made over the years, friends and fans that are interested in the music I make, really gave me so much motivation. And that's why I like to write a lot of songs about experiences that I've made in virtual reality. And I think it resonates with a lot of people, and it's really cool.
Is there anything you would like to say to new performers who has cared about taking the big step and starting their potential career?
I think the worst thing you can do is taking your first step with a career in mind, because I don't know if I can make a career out of it. I don't care too much. It's fun. I meet so many people in VR that I get to meet in real life too. I find new friends. I can sing. People listen to me. It's about the fun. That's the only thing I can tell people. I know it's a very generic answer to that question, but it's still true. Like, just have fun. Just try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If you mess up, you mess up. Don't take it too seriously. Life is short. We're all gonna die. And yeah.
Whispers flipping us off. You whispers.
Who are you? Why are you in my house?
Gobi? Hello.
That Gobi and hello does not answer my question. How did you get in here?
You left the window open for me. Pan said that I should come here and interview you.
I left the window open because I wanted some breeze. It was hot in here. Programming's a lot of work for me. Interview? What are you talking about?
Interview! So, hello, Dubstep Dragon. Welcome to the interview. So, the first question is, how did you originally get involved with the Awtter space?
About 2 years ago, while I was low on money and it was about the start of the pandemic, I ended up borrowing a VR headset and a computer from my school. I spent a few nights exploring VR chat, learning about avatar making in the community around VR chat, which eventually led me to discovering the Awtter model on Gumroad. I got involved shortly after with the Discord community. During the meets, I would go around squeaking at people as a small blue otter with horns. Of course, nowadays I'm a little bigger, more grown up, and I don't squeak anymore. I typically talk to people because I prefer that in the community. But nowadays, unfortunately, I'm not as able to come to the meets as often, but I will forever hold the memories with the community and will always cherish the connections I made.
Now, the Awtter merger, how hard was it to create and how long did it take? Because there was a lot that probably had to go on behind the scenes. And what would you say was the best part about creating it?
After I got the message from Shade, I pretty much halted everything for the day and I worked on it until the first prototype was done. It initially took about 5 hours until it was finished. It wasn't pretty, and it had a lot of flaws, but I did have it to Shade before he went to bed that night. However, just because it took 5 hours initially does not mean it hasn't been hard. If I had to estimate, since the first prototype, I've put in about 5 months of work into the merger between research, reworking it, and development. The best part about creating it was knowing I was finally able to achieve my goal of helping Shade build this amazing community and achieve the role of Awtter Dad, and eventually ruling the world. Am I not supposed to say that? Not yet? Okay.
With the merger and unmerger, and today with the newest program known as the Awtter SDK, how does it feel to see a community so happy to use something that you helped create?
It really hadn't hit me until this interview. I really take for granted the impact that these tools have around the community. It's a little shocking that there's thousands of certified Awtters in the community who at some point have probably used my tool. I don't get too many compliments and I get very few bug reports here and there, but ultimately what I've done is a huge impact for the community. And it is awesome to know that my merger helps, and it helps Shade too. Every time he makes a DLC. Finally, it really does mean a lot to me that the tools I've made and that Killers has made with the SDK that will be around for a long time to help people get more comfortable and represent themselves how they want in the community.
Dance! Dance for us! Now!
I'm smiling, but I'm in pain.
What the is going on?
Give me that.
So where does the console is supposed to go? I misheard it.
Up your you French bastard!
One, two, three. That's not right. Oh, hey, hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Yeah. Well, that was quite the entrance, Fuma. How did you first find this community?
Well, I came to VR Chat during the COVID downtime. Made a lot of friends, and I started seeing cute little otter faces appear in my friends list. I'm like, what is this? That looks adorable. Found the model, enjoyed it, and that was right at the time that the first Halloween event came. So I made my little custom Halloween costume and attended that first event, and it's been fun since then.
What was your favorite map that you ever made? I know you've made plenty, but what's your favorite?
My favorite, again, I collaborated with so many different maps. I published my own, help other people's with theirs. My personal favorite is one that no one ever goes to. It's called Ponder the Orb. It has like 5 visits total. It was more of a personal challenge. It's an entire world, an entire experience, less than 2 megabytes. I had to learn a lot of optimization techniques, a lot of things on Unity's side to get things down, not just file size, but performance. There's tens of thousands of draw calls, things like that. I got it down to just like 10 or 2. It's just a fun little experience. Using Audio Link and particles, almost everything's a particle. And it's fun for me because I got to build on a lot of knowledge that I had to teach myself. And that same knowledge I actually used in other maps and teaching other people. You know, it's rooted in this little map that no one ever goes to, but it's an essential stepping stone for me personally to do what I do today.
Now, what would you say was the most challenging change you've ever made to the Awtter when helping Shade?
It's been a journey, it's been an adventure. I think the number one frustration and number one thing to overcome with these little footprints that everyone now has on the 3.0 Oh my goodness. It took a year and a half of work and pain and aggravation to get these things to work. It started out as just a simple idea. Hey, let's have little steppies that follow you around. I tried 20 different techniques. Nothing worked correctly. Unity can be a nightmare sometimes. I tried to get too complicated. Shade at one point came to me and said, look, don't make it complicated, just make it fun. And I just scrapped everything I ever did, started from scratch after, year learning, and it just works. Now everyone has little steppies.
Do you have any recommendations for people who are looking to learn Unity like you and get as good or maybe better than you? Websites, tools, resources?
I hope they get better than me. I'm not the smartest person in the world, I'm just good at self-teaching. The biggest thing about Unity is don't get frustrated at it. Open it up, do not close it, do not run away screaming. Take the avatar package, open it up, look to see how things work, why animations work the same certain ways, why particles work a certain way. Play with it, fiddle with the little knobs, press the buttons, see what happens, and build upon that. Take prefabs and other toys and things that people post out, put it in, and just see how it works. There's lots of different pieces, like Legos and Unity. You put them together the right way, you make some nice little feature. They can do the same thing too, replacing a model, changing out an effect, and just learning how to do that. Self-teach is a way to do that. There's all sorts of different tutorials. A lot of them are outdated. Unity is a ever-growing, adventure going on. But again, it's just more importantly, just staying in the program and be willing just to take an hour and say, how does this work? And how can I break this? If you can do both of those things, you've learned something.
I'd like to say thank you, and you want to go explore that world that you made and probably broke a few times?
Absolutely, I'm happy to show you.
The first time that I fell asleep in VR chat. Oh my god.
Have you ever met a dad who couldn't barbecue?
You can set a wall camera. Can I?
Here, I'm gonna do the timer.
I gotta pee. There's nothing better than a good fire during winter.
Bon, pick up the phone. If you don't, I will cut your
Hello? Yeah, we're almost done with the movie right now. We just need actually some... Do you know someone who's actually very much involved in the community? Do you mind if I call you back? I'll be quick. Yeah, Gobi?
Hey Shade, how are you doing today?
I am doing amazing. I'm happy to be there with you. And I'm not happy to suffer over your questions.
Well, you're in luck, because this interview is more like an interrogation. And here comes the first question. So, how did you come up with the idea of the otter? And why did you not choose a more commonly used species?
The original project wasn't something that was meant to be like official, big, and I just did something that I wanted for me. And at this very time, I was obsessed with a character on the internet, Pebble the Otter by Leto, and I just wanted to give it life in VRChat, because VRChat at this time was my world. I was spending 12 hours a day on it, so well, maybe not that much, but I was spending a lot of time in VRChat, and I wanted my character to be alive in VRChat, my favorite character to be alive in VRChat. So that's how I came out with the otter species. I didn't know much about the otter part of the fandom or anything. It's just that I had a fascination for Pebble and I wanted to give it life in VRChat.
I have to ask you though, what was the feeling that you had when you started noticing a community was built around the passion that you started with?
Well, the community was intended. I've started to make it and we built a structure for it, but it was for 50 people. And then it went wild by a lot. And my feelings about it, amazed. Something that I've made was chosen by people, by human beings, to be their identity on the internet. I was amazed that people would choose my art to represent themselves in the internet.
How overwhelmed were you when you had that first meetup and you saw all those people just thanking you?
I was always trying to be cold and professional and like behave the way everyone was expecting me to be. And then at some point I realized everything that was happening, like all the people. It happened several times, but the very first time it happened, it was very, very overwhelming.
So you've obviously made a bunch of creations and content involving the model, from events for the community to videos, but how does it feel to see your model used in so many different places by so many different people?
It feels amazing. This is actually the life of the community and its future. I'm so glad that so many people took over the model and made something out of it, because the creator cannot do everything. So yes, people making content out of the model is the future of the community, and we are putting so much efforts to make it easier. In the Discord, Alex made this event thing that is extremely easy to use. We have like the SDK coming, and there is so much tools to make things easier for everyone to understand, use, and create out of the Awtter. This is the way we want to go, because the model is getting old, and at some point the only thing that will be left is what the community does.
Yes, the community definitely being the main driver of the community at this point and the model, but we've seen thousands of cool and interesting creations, from the newest Chad otter to the way back in the before times subspecies of the dog otter being made by the community. But I have to ask you, what has been your personal favorite?
This is so rigged. Okay, my favorite creation is Toothless version of the Awtter by Kill Chips. For many reasons. It's completely rigged. There is so many incredible things that have been made with the Awtter, but this is my favorite character of all time, the Toothless, the dragon. And Kel is always doing an amazing job at like making edits. So yeah, that's definitely the winner.
You mentioned friendship with Toothless, and in this community, there's been countless people making friends with each other. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of them would like to know anything you'd like to say to them. So please turn to the camera and say your thoughts.
You are the future of the community. We do the tools and you do the heart, like the core of it. You are the community. We are just providing the tools. The outer space staff is just making the tools. But in the end, the community is all about the people inside of it. And we are gonna try to improve this over time. We're working hard on making things easier for the people to connect to each other. There is the Awtter map for our IRL meetups, and we have the events. So please stay with us, make suggestions, create events, and yeah, help it to live, help the community to live.
Jade, it's been 2 years since you first made the Awtter, and it's been a wild roller coaster. I've seen you at your highest highs and your lowest lows. Sometimes the things you struggle with are completely behind closed doors, and I know you often forgo your own mental and physical health for the good of the community and the Awtter. The sacrifices you've made, the battles you've fought, are all worth it in the end, because here I am, a voice, one of thousands who will stand by you and say thank you for your work, what you do, and the huge impact that you've had on people around you. The future lies ahead of you, but the road you've paved will be remembered by the people it will help along the way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bon, bon, pick up the phone. If you don't, I will cut your